Velocities on this still showing strong rotation. This is now on the east side of Vian, still really close to Interstate 40, continuing to track very close to Interstate 40. Highway 64 here too, now going east of Vian. This is right along the highway here, and let me come in just a little bit more, see if we are still seeing signs of debris, and yes, we are. So we have just had a tornado move through the Vian area. It does seem to be broadening a little bit, which means it may not be on the ground right now, but we have debris up in the storm being picked up. Basically what the radar does is it looks vertically and horizontally, and we are actually able to tell the difference between raindrops and maybe tree leaves or tree branches or roof shingles. And so that's what we're seeing, is different things in the storm. That's what kind of triggers that different color there. Still seeing signs of debris here just to the east of Vian, Highway 64, right over Interstate 40. We just had this come through the Vian area. This continues to track to the east, so if you are in McKee, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. This is in Sequoyah County. Let me go ahead and get a kind of wider view for you, because this is still not our only tornado warning ongoing across the region. We still have two more down to the south, Haskell County. Real quick, get a quick update on that. Velocities indicating rotation just to the east of Stigler. This is along Highway 9. And this would be tracking into the Keota area. This one looking not quite as organized. We have another tornado warning off to the south. This is coming out of Pittsburgh County, about to cross over into southern Haskell County, northern Latimer County. The brief activity on this still showing a bit of a hook. The rotation still evident close to the county line, but broader, not quite as organized. We get a quick look at CC, and we're not seeing anything with that. So our strongest storm right now is Sequoyah County, with a debris signature being picked up as it moves away from Vian. That means we have just seen a tornado happen in Vian. Again, we're starting to see that push off to the east. Let me make sure that lines up. And it does look like it lines up. So we are still seeing signs of debris in this storm as it pushes to the east into McKee. This is Sequoyah County approaching Sallisaw along I-40. Eventually, we may have to track this storm closer to Fort Smith. So, James, you're still here tracking these storms too. 3 ongoing tornado warnings in the area.
Yeah, here are the 3 stacked up from Sequoyah County, Haskell County, and also moving out of Pittsburgh County into southwestern Haskell and northwestern parts of Latimer County. The strongest of these rotations is close to Dwight Mission Road and Interstate 40 and the McKee area, and that's the one that's had the strongest rotation and debris being lofted up into the radar too. You can see some brighter reds here next to these bright greens. Now north of Highway 64, let me zoom in even further. This is still about 10 miles to the west of Sallisaw right now. McKee, Dwight Mission Road comes right up from I-40 through McKee and on up toward Dwight Mission. As we check correlation coefficient, we have seen debris being lofted in this area. That's what this is. In fact, we can step this back a bit too. I'm going to move this over, and you can actually kind of follow along on where this path was. We can back that up. That first indication of debris was located very close to Vian and I-40. That's just to the east of the Arkansas River Bridge on I-40. And then you can see that path has been generally to the east over the last few minutes. So just to the north and in the McKee area right now, that's the strongest rotation that we have. And this is east of Vian and moving toward Sallisaw right now. Let's expand the view just a bit as we take a look at that debris signature, again moving in the general direction of Sallisaw. We'll go back to velocity, and again, as we check velocity, we continue to see not only that rotation, but another rotation now east of Stigler, it looks like, and just to the southeast of Stigler. That one too looks like it's a little bit weaker, but again, par for the course. We have seen these quick spin up and short duration rotations develop. East of Stigler right now, that is about the most dangerous part of the storm. I don't see any evidence that we have debris being lofted up into the radar signal from it. This rotation is weaker than what we have ongoing in Sequoyah County right now. We go back to reflectivity, and again, we're still looking at heavy rain, maybe even some hail and wind with this tornado threat. Let's go out a bit further, and we'll go further south to the storm that's moving out of Pittsburg County and passing to the south of Quinton right now too. Let's zoom into it, and that rotation check as we look at velocity on this one, and we continue to see basically closer to Robbers Cave State Park in this area. That's where we have that rotation. So if we had a tornado down with it, it would be in this location right here. So again, as we push that thunderstorm to the east-southeast, we'll do about a 30-minute track, and that's going to be over toward Lodi and Red Oak. Let's do a track on the storm a little further to the north. That's moving toward Keota right now, as that too continues moving toward the east, maybe east-southeast. 20-25-minute track gets close to Iron Bridge, Keota, Cartersville, Bacoshi in LaFleur County by 7:28. That's the rotation now east of Stigler. We can give you the all clear in Stigler, even though you are officially in the tornado warning polygon. We can give you the all clear. We'll check on our storm moving closer to Sallisaw right now. And again, we're looking just in parts of central Sequoyah County at this area just to the northwest of Sallisaw right now. And that one still has strong rotation northwest of Sallisaw. Current path is going to take this over the north side of Sallisaw, maybe a little bit further to the north. We check correlation coefficient. And again, we still have evidence that we have debris being lofted up into the radar signal. Newest tornado warning, and this will be for Latimer County and into LaFleur County out ahead of that rotation that's close to Robbers Cave State Park. That's going to pass very close to Wilburton too as it continues moving toward the east-southeast right now. As we check velocity and look at that rotation, this is what's prompted the warning. This is very close to Robbers Cave State Park and Highway 2 north of Wilburton. Let's just zoom right into this. Again, Highway 2, here's the Wilburton area, and Robbers Cave State Park just east of Highway 2 here, and that's going to continue moving to the east-southeast right over the State Park 2 across northern parts of Latimer County. This is going to likely stay just to the north of Wilburton, even though Wilburton is in that tornado warning polygon. Quick check of correlation coefficient. Don't see any lowerings in correlation coefficient, so that is great news. No sign that we have any kind of debris being lofted up into the radar signal with that either. On the wide view, we do have the three circulations. One, Sequoyah County, moving close to Sallisaw. The other one now east of Stigler. That'll move out of Haskell County. And the third in northern Latimer County, and that will move to the east-southeast, staying just to the north of the community of Wilburton. Newest tornado warning, you just saw that add on. That's going to be for northeastern Haskell County, the Keota area, and into northern parts of LaFleur County too. This is very close to Keota. Again, we check correlation coefficient. Don't see any sign that we have debris being lofted, but that circulation getting stronger too, just southwest of Keota. So Laura, I'll throw it back to you and get an update over on social media as we continue to watch these three circulations that are really strong, and we still are showing some debris being lofted up into parts of Sequoyah County from that storm northwest of Sallisaw.
Yes, we are, and this is moving into Sallisaw at this point, kind of on the north side of town. We have three areas of strong rotation. You see more than three tornado warnings, but really it's just for three areas. Sequoyah County here, that's rotation coming into Sallisaw. You have another rotation over Keota. That warning now extended into LaFleur County. And then another area of rotation that's right over Robbers Cave State Park. That warning has been extended through the rest of northern and eastern Latimer County, extending now down into LaFleur County too. So 1, 2, and 3, and this northern one here in Sequoyah County is the one that we have seen at least signs, radar indicated that a tornado did touch down at some point. That was closer to the Vian area. We're still seeing at least weak signs of debris being in that storm as it approaches Sallisaw, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's still on the ground. So let's come in and get a closer look at this and put another track on it, give you an updated look at where this is at. Your rotation is just on the northwest side of Sallisaw, moving in, about to cross over Highway 59. The timing on this as we push this forward, so we are right into Sallisaw. If you're watching us from Sallisaw right now, if you can get us, or maybe you're watching online, be in your safe place now. Don't wait. This is coming into town here in just moments, maybe already be into town for parts of the area. We're going to be getting into the Aikens area, 722, Muldrow, 732, Roland, just about to cross over into Fort Smith area as we get closer to 739. Let's clear this off, get a closer look into the storm, and determine how things are looking for us, at least in terms of strength of the rotation and if we're seeing any debris with that. So here's our rotation right on the north side of Sallisaw. We'll take a look at the velocity, and this is still really strong. You notice those really bright greens showing up next to the reds. This is our rotation. We are just about or currently crossing Highway 59. We'll get a quick check of correlation coefficient, and we did see signs of debris earlier. In fact, we can use that to go back in time just a little bit, and I can show you what I mean by that, and you'll see what we're tracking or what kind of thing we're looking for. So this was originally, as we were starting to see the storm move into Vian, you notice the drop in colors right there. That's signs of debris being in the storm when it was moving through Vian off to the east. As we bring this forward in time, you're going to be seeing that signature there, that drop in color, become not quite as evident as we've gotten now into Sallisaw. So that is actually good news for us. That means we are not seeing definitive signs that this tornado is as strong as it was just 20-30 minutes ago, but we are still seeing concerning signs of rotation here in Sequoyah County, right on the north side of Sallisaw, approaching Seven Oaks, Aikens, and continuing to move east. All right, let's go down to the next tornado warning. This is currently right over the Keota area. Highway 9, this is going to be tracking to the east. We're going to be watching the Koki area, Panama, maybe even south sides of the Spiro area in northern LaFleur County. Our rotation is right here over Keota. We'll go ahead and put the mark on that just to let you know where it's at. And then as we bring the timing forward, this is going to be going off to the southeast. Let's clip Koki, Panama, Spiro in this. Cartersville, 719, that is just minutes away. Koki, 727. Sunset Corner, 736. Panama, 738. Spiro, if we were to kind of jog north just a little bit, 741. Williams, 749. Let's clear this off, get another look to see if we have any debris being shown with this, and I'm not seeing any signs of that. But don't let that stop you from getting into your tornado safe place. If you are in Keota, Koki, Cowlington, Panama too, it's just we're not seeing this being as strong as some of the other storms. All right, let's go to the next tornado warning, and that one is going to be just a little bit more to the south. We were tracking the strongest rotation of that being close to Robbers Cave State Park. In fact, things are looking much weaker with that one. We can go back in time and kind of see how this has evolved, and you can see when we were coming out of the area south of Quinton right there, the colors on that were so much brighter and a lot more organized. Now as we look at it, the colors are looking dull. That is good news. That means the wind speeds are not as strong with this. It's not as organized. We still have signs of weak rotation here on the east side of Robbers Cave. This is north of 270 in Latimer County, but tracking to the southeast. So Red Oak, I would still be on high alert with this storm as it moves in. We still have the potential as we go through the rest of the morning for this to try and strengthen up again. You're still going to be getting lots of heavy rain, likely some strong winds with this, maybe some small hail at times, but the tornado threat, at least in this portion of the storm looks to be much smaller. National Weather Service reconfiguring some of those warnings, clearing out the back edge of things as the tornado warning and the rotation on this continues to push off to the southeast. Let me zoom this out just a bit and we'll get a track on this just in case this tries to strengthen back up. Again, the rotation sitting just to the east of Robbers Cave State Park. We bring this off to the southeast. If we were to see anything happen, we would be getting into the Red Oak area 732. This is the area of rotation. Now keep in mind, you're still going to get the really heavy rainfall, the flooding potential, maybe some strong winds and small hail. LaFleur, we're going to be getting to you 744, Summerfield 754, and then we're off into LaFleur County, into the mountains there. So still 3 areas of rotation that we're watching. We can get a wider view of things and just kind of give you an overview of what is going on across the state. The Tulsa area actually clearing out quite a bit. We had our severe weather earlier this morning. We had a lot of heavy rain. There may be flooding on roadways this morning. Keep that in mind as you're headed off to work. But the rain is clearing out of the Tulsa metro. Areas off to the southeast dealing with those stronger storms. In fact, it is just 3 tornado warnings currently ongoing from I-40 down to through southeastern Oklahoma. That we are tracking. All of these in effect until 7:30 this morning. The time now is 7:15. Now on a few of these I wouldn't be surprised to see an extension again, but here soon we should be tracking these moving out of the area. 3 tornado warnings currently ongoing, 3 areas of rotation. The most concerning one so far for us has been Sequoyah County, now over Sallisaw. Quick update on that. Rotation still pretty strong. We have seen signs of debris at times with this, but it does not look like we are seeing that right now. I'm going to do one more quick overview of each of these storms, and then I'll toss it back over to Chief Meteorologist James Adelot. So we are still seeing rotation here northeast of Sallisaw. This is going to be approaching the Fort Smith area, kind of probably north of town. We'll do one more track on that as it pushes off to the east. Seven Oaks, pretty much right now. This storm is right over Seven Oaks. If you're watching us from there, you need to be in your safe place now. Remy, Roland, you still have a little bit of time before it gets to you, but take this storm seriously as it does have a history of producing a tornado already. Our Kyoto storm, still seeing signs of rotation with that. In terms of debris, not seeing anything definitive with that, but we continue to track this off to the southeast. One more update on timeline. Ward 729, Panama 736, eventually over to Pecola 753. We come one more time down to the south. Again, this one looking weaker for us. The rotation on this much weaker, but we'll go ahead and put a track on that just in case it starts to strengthen back up again. And this would be into LaFleur 738, Lenox 805. So again, 3 tornado warnings currently ongoing until 7:30. The Tulsa Metro starting to dry out now. We continue our Fox 23 team coverage with Chief Meteorologist James Adelot.
Yeah, again, our 2 tornado warnings that we're watching now in our area. We've had one move east of Sallisaw, the other one looking stronger just to the southwest or northwest of Bekoshi and southeast of Kyoto right now. That's about to move into parts of LaFleur County. We can take a little closer look at that. Let me zoom right into this one because it's had some strong evidence of rotation getting a little stronger too. You can see how much brighter those greens have gotten on this storm. That's going to be moving out though of Haskell County and into parts of Latimer County. It's almost moving straight east, but as it moves toward, it's in the Cartersville area right now, continue to move east toward Ward, Sunset Corner, Panama, Spiro, and Tahona, likely staying just to the north of Bekoshi and Highway 31 as it moves across the county line and into parts of LaFleur County. Let me clear that warning out and go back to reflectivity. And well, first we'll bounce back out. I want to show you that the storm that continues to weaken now in parts of Latimer County too. This was the circulation that was actually really strong as it moved close to Robbers Cave State Park. Right now, that is weaker. If we were to have a tornado down with it, it would be in northern parts of Latimer County, northeast of Wilburton. We can give you the all clear in Wilburton as this moves down close to Highway 270, Red Oak, and Highway 82. If this holds together, we're looking over toward Denman, LaFleur, Fanshawe, and Summerfield. Most of that in LaFleur County and out of our coverage area. But it is important to note this circulation is much weaker than it was even just a few minutes ago. But that's kind of what we've seen with these storms being kind of quick spin up, short duration threats. Our circulation northeast of Sallisaw moving out of our coverage area right now. That's north of the Central High School area in parts of Sequoyah County. We check correlation coefficient. And again, in this area, I don't see any evidence that we have any lofted debris with it right now, but that circulation did get a little bit stronger here just to the northeast of Sallisaw. That's continuing to move almost straight east. That's going to cross and stay north of I-40 and move into parts of Crawford County in Arkansas. But so far, it has started to cycle back up just a little bit. We can check correlation coefficient one more time along Highway 101. Again, I don't see any evidence that we have any debris being lofted with that. As that continues moving east, that's moving out of our coverage area. The other strong circulation also will move out of our coverage area pretty quickly as it moves north of Bocoshi. This is already east of Keota. I think we can give the all clear to everybody west of the line from Keota to McCurtain, which just leaves this sliver of LaFleur County that can see us, including Bocoshi, and also in that southeastern corner of Haskell County. We check velocity. Again, this is still pretty strong. The rotation perked up a little bit over the last 15 minutes, located in the Cartersville area and moving toward the east. As we check correlation coefficient right now, I, again, don't see any evidence that we have debris being lofted up into the radar signal here, but we're looking very close to the LaFleur-Haskell County line, Cartersville area, just along and south of Highway 9 in extreme southeastern parts of Haskell County. Again, we just took a look in Latimer County at the tornado warning that is still in effect, but that circulation is significantly weaker than it was before. Passing just to the north of Highway 270 in northern parts of Latimer County, it's still there. We see a little brightening in the reds and in the greens here. There's still some broad rotation. It's not terribly strong as it continues to move toward the east along Highway 270, and it may cross Highway 270 as well. We're seeing a little bit brighter on the greens here, but that's still certainly not as strong as the circulation from earlier when it was closer to Robbers Cave State Park. The metro area continues very quiet for us. In fact, most of the rain has come to an end in the city of Tulsa, at least for now. But we will see the atmosphere reload and we will fire up another round of strong to severe thunderstorms late tonight and first thing Saturday morning too. Let's look into the Bocoshi storm. Again, we've been watching the notches and bends and inflection points here along this line for where we see the velocity start to increase, and indeed that's getting even stronger right now just to the north of Bocoshi in northern LaFleur County now. It has crossed out of Haskell County into LaFleur County. We are on cable in Bocoshi, so north of Bocoshi and moving toward Ward, Sunset Corner, Coal Creek, that is a strong circulation. The Weather Service has trimmed now Haskell County out of the tornado warning. We go to correlation coefficient. I don't see any sign that we have debris being lofted up into the radar signal with it right now, but that is a strong circulation just to the north of Bocoshi. And once it gets a little further away from Bocoshi, that will be out of our coverage area too, as that moves into deeper into parts of northern parts of LaFleur County. And as we expand the view, just to give you the full overview of this thunderstorm complex as it moves to the southeast, it is moving out of our area. We still have the tornado warnings clustered largely east of Highway 59 in Sequoyah County, northern LaFleur County, and now northern parts of Latimer County and into central LaFleur County. Those are the tornado warnings that we have ongoing right now. The rest of that line of thunderstorms continues to clear completely out of the Tulsa area too. In fact, we can take a look in Tulsa and yeah, already seeing blue sky on Riverside camera, so it doesn't take too long for this to clear out. There's the view. You can see steam coming off some of the refineries, Holly Refinery North there, and beautiful to see the blue sky return in the city of Tulsa. But we still are watching ongoing severe weather southeast of Tulsa too, with 3 circulations that we're watching. 2 of these have now moved out of our coverage area. The 3rd is much weaker in northern Latimer County, and that is going to move out of our coverage area pretty soon. Haven't seen if the Weather Service has made a warning decision on the storm in Latimer County, whether or not they're going to continue tracking that. There's a new tornado warning that's going to get into Crawford County in Arkansas. You just saw that pop on, again, out of our coverage area, but we can take a look at it. And that's the circulation that's east now of Sallisaw. Just to give you an idea of the magnitude of that circulation, it continues fairly strong as it moves to the east of Sallisaw right now. Also, out of Haskell County, we can drop Haskell County from this warning too, and our Latimer County. Excuse me. It has been a long morning in already, right? As we look into northeastern Latimer County, we still have this tornado warning that is in effect. We checked velocities, and it's still evident that we have some rotation here right along Highway 270 and just to the west of Highway 82. And as we zoom in and help kind of pinpoint that rotation, this is much weaker than it was before, just to the west of Red Oak right now. There are big ridge lines that run just south of Highway 270 here in Latimer County. So this is kind of in that valley there north of the biggest ridge line, moving over toward Red Oak right now. Again, does not look like it's producing a tornado at this point, but we've seen a lot of these quick onset, short duration tornado threats out of these storms. Even seeing some of rotation similar to this spin up pretty quickly and produce a tornado threat. So far, 1 confirmed tornado, and that was from Vian to the northwest side or northwest of Sallisaw. Haven't had any damage reports at all in the city of Sallisaw either. So we'll continue to watch this closely as it moves across out of Latimer into LaFleur County. Let's check in with meteorologist Laura Mock, who's also been watching these storms this morning on this stormy Friday morning in eastern Oklahoma.
And we may do it again tomorrow morning too, with more storms in the forecast tonight. We're dealing with the morning activity now, and then we are going to reset everything this afternoon. The storms clear out. We will likely get to see some sunshine. It'll be warm and muggy, and then more storms, severe storms possibly, are expected to develop overnight tonight, with the rain continuing through tomorrow morning. May start off as severe storms and then kind of transition more into a steadier rainfall. But again, we have several rounds expected for us as we head through the weekend. This morning's round is almost over for the Fox 23 viewing area. Tulsa saw the line of storms come through much earlier. It started off in Osage County with a couple of tornado warnings there. You can see the green boxes off to the north indicating some flooding concerns as we have seen some really heavy rainfall. We're talking in some spots more than 3 inches of rain. Now we continue to see 3 areas of rotation. Tornadoes potentially something that we have to watch for across southeastern Oklahoma. So let's take a closer look at that. We'll start with our northernmost storm, and that is going to be in Sequoyah County. This is moving away from Sallisaw, the tornado warning, now extending into northern portions of Fort Smith. The rotation on this north of Interstate 40. This is going to be right about here. In fact, we can take a look at the velocities, and this has been one of our stronger rotations that we've seen this morning. We saw signs of a tornado that happened closer to the Vian area, saw signs of debris being in the storm as it approached the Sallisaw area, and then it seemed to weaken just a little bit. The strongest rotation again still in the area, still evident on the radar. Let's go and take a closer look at that. This is going to be approaching Highway 64B, so south of Bellefonte. We're going to be close to the Remy area, likely tracking just to the north of Roland. I-40 kind of jogging to the north a little bit closer there, so when we get closer to Dora, we could get closer to the interstate again. Still have rotation with this. We're past the Aikens area, past Sallisaw too. We can get a quick check and see if we have any debris lifted with that. Let me double check that real quick. So we're looking just after that curve in the road, or right at that curve. If we see anything, let's seems to be just to the south, so that may be a little bit more noise than signs of debris, as the rotation on this is not quite as strong as it was originally when it was in Vian, but this is still very concerning. Still some rotation with that as it moves through eastern Sequoyah County. So that is possible. Let me zoom this out and we'll put another track on this as it moves out of the state. This is going to be tracking off to the east, closer to the just kind of north side of the Fort Smith area. Remy, we are just minutes away from getting to you, so you need to be in your safe place basically now. Oak Park, 7:49. Van Buren over into Arkansas across the state line, 7:52. Rudy, Alma, closer to 8 a.m. So that's our northernmost tornado warning currently ongoing. Clear this off, jog back down to the south, and we're still seeing strong rotation now moving through northern Lafleur County. Maybe not quite as strong as it was just a few scans ago. Yeah, some of those wind speeds coming down just a little bit, but the rotation's still evident. East of Bokoshi, you're seeing the strong greens right here. The reds maybe not as strong, the reds being wind going into the storm away from the radar, but still there's signs of rotation here. We can take a look at reflectivity and it'd be right about there. So north of Panama, east of Bokoshi. Quick look in, see if we have any debris with this, and that is not looking very evident for us. Back to reflectivity, all of you still getting heavy rain, frequent lightning and thunder, flooding concerns anyway, even if a tornado is not currently ongoing. This tornado warning in effect until 7:45 this morning. Let's jog back down to the south as there is one more tornado warning on the map, and this is going to be for Latimer County into Lafleur County. Now, the last time we looked at this, it looked like the rotation was weaker on it, and it still looks to be the trend that we're seeing. Weaker rotation. We are now seeing that rotation, if we were to have anything, likely south of 270, east of Wilburton, starting to get more into those ridge lines, the mountains there. Still going to be seeing on the reflectivity at least an estimation of where that rotation would be. Crossing over 82, you can see the tornado warning now being trimmed back a little bit as we continue to track this to the southeast. So Wilburton, the Robbers Cave area, no longer in the warning. The back edge of that brought a little bit more to the east. So we're crossing over 82 as it goes from north to south. We are making our way south of 270. We are going to be approaching 271 in Lafleur County here soon. The track on this storm also moving off to the southeast. If we were to see this strengthen back up, here's where this would be headed. Lafleur, 738, Summerfield, 747, Reichert's right about 8 o'clock, maybe even a little bit earlier, and then Concert, 8:06. Now, thankfully, it looks like we are starting to clear things out of the Fox 23 viewing area. A lot of Lafleur County does not get our signal. Of course, we're still keeping an eye on everything as it moves through, but that severe weather threat beginning to wrap up just a little bit for us. Want to reiterate, the Tulsa Metro looking good for us at the moment. The storms pushing off to the southeast. The rain has cleared out of Tulsa. The back edge of that rain now through Okfuskee County, almost out of Okmulgee County, halfway through Wagner County, halfway through Mays County, Craig County too. As that rain clears out, we're not expecting much more going through the rest of the day. In fact, the afternoon is just going to be warm and humid. Know, though, even after the rain clears out, you may have flooding concerns. There may be water on roadways. Give yourself extra time if you are headed off to work early on this morning. Anyway, lots of rain has fallen across the region. Severe thunderstorm warnings off in Arkansas and Missouri. Tornado warnings still ongoing in far southeastern Oklahoma. So we continue to track everything moving out. We still have 3 tornado warnings ongoing. I wouldn't be surprised to see the National Weather Service maybe. James asked about that in chat. Let's see. For Latimer County, with that storm weakening, I wouldn't be surprised to see that drop off the map here soon. Really, the strongest one is going to be Sequoyah County, pushing off into Arkansas. So, James, still have 3 tornado warnings on the map, but things starting to, dare I say, quiet down a little bit for us.
Yeah, I think so. We'll probably keep it here with the weather coverage for about 5 more minutes until our circulation left in Latimer County just gets over the county line and out of our coverage area into LaFleur County. The good news is for the rest of eastern Oklahoma, round 1 here is just about finished, and the rest of the day should be pretty quiet. Now, we will see another kick up in storm chances overnight Friday night into Saturday morning. Some signal on some of the computer models coming in that I've been able to look at shows it not quite as high octane as what we've dealt with this morning. So for now, 2 tornado warnings just out of our coverage area, moving into northern LaFleur County and out of Sequoia into Crawford County. But let's take a close-in view in Latimer County, and we'll get you an update on where that circulation is and its current status too. And you can see this is Highway 270. We're well east of Wilburton right now, so no threat at all in Wilburton. And it looks like that circulation is very close to the county line. So maybe about another 4 minutes here and we'll pitch back to news, because there's a lot of that and a lot more weather to talk about looking forward as we look at thunderstorm chances overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. Let's do a track on this particular rotation. Again, it's not super strong, what's left of it, located just to the east of Highway 82, continuing to move to the east-southeast. That's going to be into LaFleur County soon, toward LaFleur, Summerfield, Reichert, and Independence by about 8:04, and that's passing south of Worcester and south of Poteau in parts of LaFleur County. We've not seen any evidence in the last 30 minutes that we've had any debris being lofted with any of the circulations that we were watching. But officially, this tornado warning is in effect until 7:45, even though that circulation is just about to move out of Latimer County and into LaFleur County too. Further to the north, along this cluster of thunderstorms, we've got the 2 tornado warnings with one circulation moving closer to Spiro. We can look at that with velocity. That one actually does look quite a bit weaker too, so that's great news. And even further to the north, we've got the strongest circulation that we've seen, but that's getting close to the state line out of Sequoia County and into parts of Crawford County in Arkansas, and that's definitely still some strong rotation right here. We can check correlation coefficient, and we've got a little bit of a drop. I'm going to zoom right on in just to see if we can confirm what's happening. That looks a little noisy. Yeah, it's not quite directly lined up with the velocity. Now, it's close, but it's not quite lined up directly with that velocity. I'm going to put this over just to the northeast, we'll say, of Remy. Yeah, this just looks like that's not quite exactly lined up. That may be just kind of some noisy data.
It stays stationary on 2 scans.
Okay, so yeah, that's noisy data. One of the problems with Fort Smith radar, you can see these splotches of lower CC, so it certainly does complicate reading correlation coefficient and looking for debris being lofted up into the radar. Wide view again, let's go back down to Latimer County, because that is our last tornado warning in our area right now, and that's continuing to move out of Latimer County and into parts of LaFleur County. As we come up to the current picture and look at velocity, looks like that velocity continues to be weak and right in that southwestern corner of Haskell County, southeastern corner of Latimer County, east of Highway 82, and just about to move into Latimer County. Goodness, it's been a long morning. The circulation is in extreme southeastern Latimer County, moving across the county line into LaFleur County. My apologies, as that continues to move further and further east of Highway 82. That's our last tornado warning in our area. It officially expires at about 7:45. It'll probably be allowed to go till 7:45, even though that circulation now looks like it's right on the county line and moving out. So I think we can probably go back to programming, back to Fox 23 News with Ron and Michelle, who have had an uncharacteristically quiet Friday morning while the weather people have been working hard. Ron, Michelle?